All right, we are live. All right, today we're going to be talking with CEO of Marvel Solutions, Gino Nadarav, and he is going to help us learn how to fix our credit, how to fix it fast, how to use credit to really get freedom, and just everything about credit. And it's just such a great topic. I think everybody listening is going to get a ton of value out of this show today. So, Gino, I know you're a family man. I know you got a lot going on, but kind of just tell everybody a little bit about you and your background.
I'm a electrical engineer. I went to school, got my degree, got all that. I came from different country and having no idea about American finances and how everything works. All I knew is I had to go
Where'd
to
you come from
school.
again?
I came from Russia,
That's
so
cool,
my
man.
family is
And
from Russia.
how old were you when you came to the US?
I was like 6 years old, man. I was like 6 years,
It's
pretty much
crazy.
born here. But my essentially grew up. I grew up here. My parents came from nothing, but I ended up realizing that my entire life, going through going upbringing from day to day and learning about how to make money, how to leverage money, that did not exist in my entire life until I decided to go a different route and started learning about it on my own. But as far as myself, I feel like the biggest thing is I went through the same struggles that everybody else goes through if they're trying to become something or do something in their life, whether it's starting a business or getting a degree to get a job, like a lawyer, a doctor, or anything else, like myself, an engineer. You get to the point where you want to be able to invest in yourself, right?
Yeah.
Investing in yourself, it starts with spending money or getting an education, which is what I did. I got a master's in electrical engineering. I got a master's in business. I mean, I did all that. So now, family wise, I have a great family behind me that supports me and makes me want to do better. So that's also really good. But my own personal growth came from realizing how the rich get rich. And
Yeah.
that really what really changed the mentorships of being able to get access to people that mentored me when I was coming up and helped me grow into who I am now.
I mean, like why credit though? Like what did you have to learn to get to the point where you're at now that you found that
So
credit is the best way?
that's a great question. Credit didn't it didn't come like it was very intuitive. It didn't really make sense. And before, I didn't understand what credit was until I started to apply for like loans or getting a car. When I first bought my house, they're like, "Oh, what's your credit score?" I was like, "Whoa, I don't even know."
Yeah.
What's my credit score? So and then I didn't even know anything about credit, but once I started to focus on what credit is and what it does for you as a tool,
Yeah.
it becomes an exponential tool that you have access to, lenders, credit cards, you have all these opportunities that are just sitting there that we don't even realize until we tap into it. And credit is enabling you to get the better rates, be able to get yourself that car that you want. For example, you want to be able to buy that house, you need to have credit, no matter what. In America, it should just say America equals credit. And that's like the token, like at the end of the day, everything goes back to credit because your credibility. So that's what really changed my tone. But be able to get into credit, I started to buy real estate, and then when I started to realize how important credit was to get real estate, and the fact that I needed more money, right? So I was like, man, I'm an engineer making $150,000 salary. Man, how do I make more money? I'm not making enough money, so this is not working out.
Yeah.
I was like, I figured out a way where I was able to leverage credit to kind of access the money in the credit rather than just saying, okay, there's a credit card. How do you get money from credit cards? You need to actually be able to go through a process, a strategy where you can transfer that into actual hard-earned cash. So that's the process that we do, and myself. That's why I started to learn. I leverage credit. I access money, loans, personal and business, to be able to buy real estate, be able to buy businesses, and start growing at an exponential rate rather than being able to having to wait to save, having to invest in the stock market, which you don't even know what's going to happen. There's higher risk things, but when you have access to money that you didn't have, other people's money, In this case, using credit as a leverage is basically it's yours. You don't need to go ask someone else to have money. You have a credit score. You can leverage yourself. That's basically what it comes down to. So I didn't have anybody else to help me. My parents, my mom, my dad didn't have any money. So I was like, man, nobody's going to give me $50,000 to $100,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're in California, man. To get a house in California, like you gotta find something.
Yeah. How do you get access to, like houses back then? I bought my first house. It was like 311,000 back in 2011. I put down about 20% on the house, and I had to save like my entire life's earnings. I worked at Radio Shack, Macy's, Robinson's May. I mean, I worked anywhere just to make money. And then once I got my engineering degree, my obviously I started making 30, 40, $50 an hour. And even then was like, whoa, like it's going to take me 3-4 years just to buy one house.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when I was like, no, something is, I know I have to do this. So I need to figure out how to get access to money, if not make more money.
Yeah, I like it. I want to just kind of like pivot now to like, how can we help the listener or the viewer fix their credit, right? Like what is kind of like the first steps that you had to do, or what's the first steps that anybody has to do?
So in order to fix your credit, you need to figure out what's wrong with your credit. Like you need to see, what's causing your the banks to not give you that loan, or the banks to not give you that, that credit line or whatever, right? So you look at your overall credit report. You have to pull it either from Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax. I use Experian just because it's easy access, gives you all three bureaus. You go in there and you basically look at your backdoor access, which is your overall list of negative accounts. It'll tell you where your negative accounts are based on your actual recording. So whatever it says in your report, it'll tell you your negatives, your positives. And that's how you kind of like stretch out and find out what your negatives are. But you have to be able to access it online or be able to buy it online as well now.
Yeah. Like, so when you go into these things, like I think everybody knows how to like kind of look at their credit, Credit Karma, all that stuff.
Right.
Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for, because I know there's like different types of claims on your credit, right? So you could have like a negative credit, and like those are the really bad ones, and then you could also have some that are like pending, or like some like that are like trying to take you to court, or like whatever else there is like, are there any like specific ones you can remove easily, or what are you kind of looking for?
So the way when you look at your credit, you start to see, okay, what do you have any late payments? Do you have any like accounts that are delinquent, or you have any written off accounts? Maybe an account that you never even remembered was in there, and you didn't pay for it, or you had opened the account and that account just kind of became stale, and it became written off by the banks. So that write-off, it affects your credit very, very much. It's over 50 to 100 points, depending on how bad or how much of a loan you owe, right? Or unsettled debt. Unsettled debt is very critical, because if you have unsettled debt, you need to settle that debt. There's no other way of removing that unless you have some kind of, if it went to collections, for example, if it went to collections, you potentially could remove it, but it could still report, So those things are harder to remove, but they're very easily done if you have the right strategies in place. Now, my team, we go ahead and settle that debt and help you settle those debts if you need to. And that way you don't have to pay the entire amount. You can pay potentially half. And once you settle those debts, you're able to remove them.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to ask you. Does Marvel Solutions, will they call and negotiate for people, or how do you recommend people talk to these people, different credit people?
Anybody can go fix their own credit. That anybody can go and call and send letters and really dispute with the bureaus. But the bureaus, they have thousands, if not millions, of letters coming in every day just to remove negative accounts. And if it's coming from a person, like an individual saying, hey, I'm disputing this account, prove to me this account is valued, that person is not going to get the same human eyes, as if somebody is coming to them with a company or myself saying, hey, this individual, I'm representing this individual, and his credit is so-and-so, and this account is so-and-so. You need to be able to remove this account. Otherwise, we're going to do an arbitration against you. We're going to require you to remove that account, or we're going to have to take you to court. Now, the bureaus don't want to go to court for one account. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're, they're going to be like, oh, well, this is a 30, this is not, this is one account, one individual is threatening to sue us over an account. Are we going to, we get either have to show that we have information about this account, or we need to remove it. So I would say the reason we have a 99% success rate is because 99% of the time they remove the account. And the reason that
Nice.
is because they don't want to deal with the arbitration process. They don't want to, we're challenging these accounts. We're not disputing. And that's the difference that I think is making us so successful, is because we're not wasting our time. We're not having the client try to, dispute it, or we're not saying, hey, this is a fraudulent account, because that's illegal. So, people don't realize that if you have other people working on your credit, you cannot have anybody represent you as you.
Yeah.
You need to be represented by an entity or a company that will go out and take care of this for you.
Yeah. So basically you have two options. It's like settle the debt, which is just like pay them, right? Or maybe
Right.
call them and negotiate it, or, work with like Marvel Solutions or something and have the arbitration process take it off your credit, right?
Yep. The arbitration will remove the credit and remove the actual account on there. So they remove, like, for example, you can remove inquiries, you can remove late payment, you can remove bankruptcies, evictions, child support. Everything is removable. Okay, there's nothing off the table. It's all a matter of time and dedication and continuous, access to that information, and forcing the bureaus to provide that information. If they cannot provide information within 30 days, they're forced to remove it. Now, that means every account that you have, including bankruptcies, they have to prove why you're bankrupt. So if they cannot prove it, they eventually, or they don't want to deal with it, they will basically remove it, because they have not enough time or people to look at that file, because those accounts require human eyes. Most of the emails or letters that come in regarding any negative account, they're done through a software, and that software is basically catching anything that's simply not worth a human's eyes to spend. So they go ahead and just pass that through, and the information is gathered through the system and sent back saying, oh, we have access, we know this account exists because we were able to pull it from your credit report or whatever else. So that's really what it comes down to. You have to be able to learn how the system works and start working that way. But for me, credit was not only to remove it, was to also understand what the potential it has. So regardless of removing your credit, cleaning your credit, look at the bigger picture. Is that one step so much more powerful than just sitting on a bad credit score.
Yeah, I was thinking it's kind of a mindset thing. Like you talked about how you got an engineering degree and you thought, oh, this is how I'm going to get rich. But then you figured out how to use credit to leverage yourself. I mean, I want to keep talking about fixing our credit, but it's a process, right? You have to see all your negative balances. Then what we just talked about is like how to clean your credit. So now your credit is like starting to look better. But then the next step is going to be actually building credibility, as you said, or building your credit. How do you like to start to rebuild your credit once you've actually gotten it prepared or repaired?
So what I learned, which was, through the heartaches and problems, I was like, hey, I'm not getting any credit cards. I'm not getting any loans. What's going on? My credit is 800.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter if your credit is, 9 million, credit scores go up to 850, I believe. So long story short, that you have to have credibility. So the reason you have credit history, there's 5 things that credit is mixed up. It's credit mix, it's credit history, it's your payment history, it's your overall, inquiries, how many inquiries you have. And new application, new credit. If you apply for a new credit, those things all affect your credibility. Now, if you don't have any accounts, if I clean your credit today and you had a bunch of negative stuff, or even let's say you're born. When you're born, you have a credit score. You're automatically given a credit score. Your Social Security is basically your credit score. Now that Social Security now has a credit attached to it. So if you have no credit history, no bank is going to be willing to give you a loan or give you a credit card, because you have not shown or proven to them that you are reliable. So that's where I realized the biggest factor was you have to be able to leverage other people's credit if you don't have credit yourself. So that's the beautiful part about credit is you can leverage other people's credit to report on your credit, and that will provide a backing like, hey, I got I got Gino Nonara backed up by, let's say, Mr. Joe Smo has great credit. He's going to back me up because now I'm not coming in alone. I have someone else saying, I got, this individual has payments for over 12 months, no late payments, everything is good. They're going to look at me, well, he's working with it. If anything, we know that the person that he's, signed up with, the person that's supporting him is on a good page. So that's why they're able to support us and give us the credit report, because we're able to get the loan, the banks to actually trust us. Now, trusting us is very important because, if you have no credibility, you're going to, even if you have like a score of 800, instead of getting a $5,000 credit card from an 800 score to a $20,000 credit card, it's that credibility. And you can get that through trade lines. Now, trade lines is, authorized users, also known authorized users, are individuals that you can ask a friend, family, or whatever, hey, can you add me to your credit card or your credit loan? That way it can report on my credit as well, that that you're making good payments on it. That shows value because the banks will see, hey, this account has been paid fully every month for the last 30 years. If it's a mortgage, for a house mortgage, for example, if your family owns a house, you can put yourself on that house and you're going to have that reporting on your credit report. So that's really like monumental for a bank, because they say, well, this individual has assets, he has a collateral, and he's got payment history. We are willing to give him money because if anything, we'll take his house away. Yeah. So now you have a banking. Same thing when it comes to like, a loan. Let's say you have a loan for a car, right? Same thing. You have a loan for a car. Individuals that you can sign up to have your car payment report to their credit report, and that will give them leverage to be able to access more money. And that's where the concept of leverage kind of comes from, is be able to use whether it's family, friends, or other people that sell their good credit score, good history for you to leverage, for you to access. So they're willing to let you use it. So I realized that I didn't have to build my own credit on my own. I was able to leverage other people's credit to access more money at a faster rate than if I had to spend years to build my own credit.
Yeah, and when you told me about these credit lines or whatever, trade lines, it just blew my mind. I thought it was super powerful. And I know, like, if anybody's listening out there wants to partner with Marvel Solutions, Gino has all the connections to do it. Can we talk a little bit more about what that looks like? Do they actually get the money loaned to them, or does it just go into an account and then they make payments on it, or kind of what does it look like?
Oh, so if you're saying if they get a trade line, or if they
if they get a trade line with you guys, basically.
So the way the trade lines work is you're basically renting the trade line. You're saying, hey, Mr. Joe Smo, can I use your credit card or your loan for a certain period of time? I'll pay you for it, and I just needed to report to our credit report. So This individual will be like, oh yeah, absolutely, I trust you. I believe that you're a good person, and you want to be able to support. I'm willing to support you. So that's what the other people would be able to, just like a private lender. Come to a private lender, hey, you might give me some money. Well, why should I give you some money? Well, I'm a credible person. I think you can trust me because I'm going to help you. How? Well, you're going to make me money. Well, guess what? Same thing with trade line. I'm going to pay you to borrow your trade line. I'm paying, you're paying interest basically on that credit report or that account by using it for a period of time, usually 3 months, and it reports within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, that account, whatever trade line that individual gets, it will report in 2 weeks. And then now, guess what? Now their credit is no longer just a score. It has credibility, and the credibility is so powerful because now they're able to apply for a loan, apply for a credit card, and they, if they have enough trade lines, I recommend 3 to 5 trade lines. That way, you have a good amount of credit history and payment history, as well as different kind of credits like credit cards, loans. If you have mortgage payment, a mortgage loan, even better. You can have access to all these trade lines and have them report on your credit report. And you'll be able to more likely at a higher rate be approved for a car, a house, or a credit card, for example.
Yeah, I like it. And for everybody listening out there, I really love Gino's company, Marvel Solutions. So they helped me fix my credit. And I think everybody out there should really get on board. But let's just talk a little bit more about Marvel Solutions and how, like, where you can help other people fix their credit and do it for them. Cause I mean, this is awesome that we're having this conversation,
Right.
but like, it's a lot of work to do it on your own. And there's just like
Yeah.
people, if you're doing it on your own, like you don't have access to the arbitration, you don't have access to the trade lines. And like, I mean, Marvel Solutions is kind of like the white glove solution
Yeah.
for all your credit stuff, right? So let's just
Yeah,
talk a little bit
it
about
just
Marvel.
it just gives you the roadmap, right? So now, I went through the process. I had over 20 accounts negative, and I had to, clean up 20 accounts. I had to settle over 20 accounts because of, certain business venues that I got into, and I had to come out of it. Now, most millionaires, they go through at least one bankruptcy, or if not more. That you don't have to go through bankruptcy to become a millionaire, but you have to understand how credit works, because it's the most powerful thing. If you don't, you're going to be stuck, and you may be bankrupt forever because of that, because your credit is no longer credible. So if you have bad credit and you don't fix it, nobody is going to give you a loan. I don't care where you go. No bank will give you a loan. They will give you a loan. It might be at a 20%, 30% rate. And if you get that kind of rate, I mean, that's, to you, at that point, you're just digging the hole deeper, right? Now you might as well put yourself in the grave, But at the end of the day, it's like, you want to live your life. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to get that car, that house. You want to be able to take care of your family, because that's what it came down to me. It's like, well, how can I help my family? So that way they don't have to, live day paycheck to paycheck, So, and then that's really what it comes down to. And having somebody that came from a different country, having no knowledge of, of credit, of business and all that stuff, I had to self-educate in this case, and then find the right mentors that kind of gave me that ability to, level up and start using the tools that are in my disposal. And those tools are life-changing. They're not just, changing one credit score can change, your life 10 times, if not 20 times, 30 times more than you getting a new career, getting a new job. Like, you can access money to start that new business. You can access money to buy that first house. You can access money to get that car in order for you to get to work. Like, you need a car, you need a house, you need to have money to take care of your family. Now, you may not have money right now, but you need to be able to feed your family, right? Well, there's credit, right? You can leverage credit, debt. You leverage debt, and then you feed your family, you go work, and then you pay that debt off. The same concept. So credit is your access to debt, and debt is good if you know how to use it right.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, what was really cool, like when we worked, is like we did the personalized roadmap to fix my credit, which was all done by your staff, and that was really amazing. And then basically we're still working through the process, but like, I know you have a super fast way to fix people's credit. What do you think the timeline is for anybody out there that, like, cause like, this isn't like, it's not gonna be a 5-year thing. We can do it a lot quicker. We can completely change your life. All it takes is a little investment and a little bit of time, and anybody can do this.
It's just a little bit of time, a little bit of investment. And the time is really, now it's been like shorter, like it's like, before it was like maybe 6 months to a year. Now we can push 3 months, or even 45 days to 30 days, 30 to 45 days, just to get accounts or credit, like, ready for funding. So and that's a whole nother thing, right? But the credit part, its first step is to get your credit fixed, and that means and get it done fast as possible. Like, and you want to be able to depend on someone that can do it. Now, you can always try to fix it yourself, but then do you have the time? Right? Are you going to be able to, get out of work and go to the mail and mail that letter, and make sure are you going to spend that time? Are you going to educate yourself, all the education that you need to be able to understand how to fight these bureaus? And arbitration is no joke. If you do it wrong, you could get sued. So you have to do it in a way where you're protected. You have all your legal bindings in place, and that way you're in a position of power where you saying, hey, this is my credit score. I want my credit score to be cleansed and value added there, because I care about my credit. Now, if you care about yourself and your credit, then you care about your family and everybody else. And I think the faster you get it done, the faster you're going to see that change in your life. And we do arbitration and challenging because it's the most successful way to do it, and the most time wise the most fastest way to do it. Other companies, other credit companies, they go and they dispute transactions, they dispute late payments, they try to go through the traditional standard routes, which were the old ways, which is things that I did in the past.
Yeah.
But I found that this is a lot more faster, a lot more quicker, because of the fact that you have laws in place that protect you as a consumer, and we have to use those laws to be able to better ourselves. And that's how I found out.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, the big thing is like if you want to start fixing your credit, like you're worth it. You know what I mean? Like it's worth it for you to take the time to fix your credit, because that's how you live the American dream.
Yeah.
Like it's almost unimaginable otherwise. That's why things are getting so expensive. But if you can get access to the money, access to the funding, you can basically change your life,
Well, I mean, you're talking about like whatever the credit, whatever the cost of credit is. To me, it was like nothing compared to the monumental access, the money and the freedom that you get with having good credit. So having good credit allows you to access money, 20, 30 times whatever you invested to get your credit. I spent over $8,000 fixing my own credit, over $8,000. But I was willing to spend that without a blink of an eye, because I got access to over $350,000 in personal and business credit and loans that I didn't have if I didn't have my credit right. So 8,000 compared to 350.
Yeah, nailed it.
I mean, what else can I say? I mean, how much more clearer does that have to be for people to understand that we have an opportunity, that everybody has an opportunity. Anybody that wants an opportunity to change their life, this is it. You need to invest in your credit. You need to get your credit right, and that way you can start to really tap into the American dream. The American dream is credit, because debt is what they use. They're always providing debt. Why do the banks want you to use their money? Because they want you to go into debt. They want to give you the debt because they make money off debt. So same thing here. Why don't you use debt to improve your life?
Yeah.
Right. Use debt, but in order to get access to debt, which is funding, in order for me to get you funding, we need to get you credit. So, and that's what that's a whole nother conversation. But credit is the first step, and that's why I think being able to go from 0 to 100 or 300 in this case, having no money and spending my own hard money to fix my credit. I ended up accessing so much money. I was able to buy 3 real estate properties within 3 months.
Killed it. And that's why I love, so this is the first step, guys. It's like, you got to get into Marvel Solutions to fix your credit, because you need a partner in this whole battle of credit against the bureaus, against the whole system. But then you can start to learn how to use the system to your advantage. And that's what Gino is all about. He's giving me consulting on how to get business loans, how to get home loans, how to basically get, I like your car rental business too. Let's talk a little bit about that. How many houses do you have now? And then how many cars?
I got 15 properties. I got over 30 tenants paying me rent every month.
Nice.
I got now I'm at 15 cars. Yeah, 15 cars.
You got the G-Wagon and a freaking Rolls Royce.
8 more coming.
Really?
Coming, because of the fact that I leverage business credit as well.
Nice.
So now I use my personal credit, and I got 15 cars. Now I'm able to access business credit, and I just got 8 approved yesterday. So 8 cars. I mean, people can't even get a car. So at the end of the day, now it's about well, I don't have over $500,000 in cash just to pay for these cars, because that's 15 cars. You're talking over $1 million, over $500,000 or $1 million. 20 cars, over $1 million, right? Easy.
Yeah.
Right. So how did I get those cars, or how am I getting those cars? Because of 2 reasons: credit and debt. Accessing credit, leveraging debt, and then creating a business out of it. And that I'm using the credit, I'm using the debt, and I'm making money off my assets. So that's the true American dream, is the fact that, debt is not bad for you. It's great as long as you know how to use it wisely.
Yeah. So get your credit fixed with Marvel Solutions and then basically join us for some credit consulting. What else can we help them with? Like get business
Oh,
loans, home loans. What do you like
yeah, we
to
kind of
help
talked
your
about that,
clients?
but that's I know for me, I'm more excited about money. So
Yeah.
if you can get money, and you can get money without working for it, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So and access to money is the same thing as having money, because even if it's not your money, as long as you can access the money and use it, it's
Mm,
amazing. So
it's opportunity.
the way we do business consulting, we provide funding for clients that have a 700 or more score. So you have to get to the 700 club, right? If you're not in the 700 club, we got to get you there. So, but until you get to the once you get to the 700 club, then we're able to go out and in your community, your local banks, credit unions, Bank of America, Chase, all those basic, standard banks, as well as the ones that are local. We're able to get you credit cards, personal loans, and then start building a business for you. We help
Yeah.
you start a business if you don't have one. If you have an existing business, we'll help you, get access to funding and loan, leveraging your personal credit, because it's usually personal guaranteed if it's a new business. But if you have a business that's been around for years, over 3 to 6 years, you are able to access no personal guarantee, meaning you're able to access money that you no longer are attached to. Now
Really?
you're able to access money where a business, you don't have to even use your personal credit at that point, because the business now has its own credit score, because it's built so much credibility over the years because of accessing money, paying back the debt. That's where the most powerful business owners, the millionaires, the trillionaires, they leverage business credit. And to get to business credit, you have to have good personal credit. And then once you have good personal credit, you're able to access money personally. You're able to access money on the business side. Then you build the business, and you no longer need the personal. And
Wow.
that's where the powerful is. And now you have you have a business credit that is reporting Dun and Bradstreet. You have trade lines. You have credibility on your business, and now your person doesn't matter. The business is bringing in cash. You got good credit, good credibility, good history. Then you're just nothing can stop you at that point, because you can open up multiple businesses and have multiple credit scores on different businesses, basically.
Wow. Does the business have to be in business for 3 to 5 years to get that credit line though, or can you speed it up?
In the beginning, no. In the beginning, we use your personal credit to leverage, and then we're able to get you business funding and personal funding based on your personal credit.
Nice.
Usually a business 3 to 5 years requires you to use your personal credit, because it hasn't been in business long enough and it hasn't built that credibility yet. But once you build the credibility, you're able to access way more money with business. I'm talking about $500,000 to over $3 million with business credit,
Yeah.
access to it. And I have clients that have amazing credit, and have amazing business credit, and they're able to get 250,000, 300,000 on personal, and get an extra $500,000 on a business side. So I mean, we're talking about $800,000 worth of access to money. So that's how big this can get. But it starts with first getting your credit fixed, getting your credibility. If you're young, you don't have that much credit, we can get you trade lines and help you build that credibility. Or if you have good accounts already, you don't need trade line. You can go straight into funding. If your score is above 700 and you got a good amount of accounts reporting that you made payments on time, you have good credibility, we don't have to get trade line. We go straight into funding. But if you don't, we need to build the credibility. We need to get you to the next step, which is above 700 and have credibility and good credit history in order for you to apply for credit cards, for loans. And if you want to buy a house or whatever, you need that. And then after that, we can start on the business side. And business consulting is where I have the most fun, because now we're playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
Now we're playing Monopoly. Now it's like, whoa, how much money can I access? There's nothing else that can stop you at that point. But it's really, you need that person that can kind of guide you. Because now, when I started, nobody told me how business credit works. Nobody told me how personal credit works. I didn't know I can leverage personal credit or business, and how to get to it. It's just like a newborn. You have to take care of it. You have to nurture it. You have to get the right guidance.
Yeah.
If
I'm
you're
definitely gonna have to talk
if
to
you're
you,
not
man.
mentored and you're not supported by, whatever your family knows, they know that it's not their fault. You have to be able to access other people's information. You have to be now this world is about information and data. The more information and data you have, the more powerful, the more monetizing you can be, especially with like Google, for example, the
Yeah.
biggest company in the world, like access to data, nothing but data. That's where the power comes in. And we, as a credit company, we are using that data to help you take yourself from having nothing, no money, or even a regular 9 to 5 job. You have a credit. You start building your credit. You start building the credibility, and then now you tap into this unforeseen system that just gives you access to all this money that you didn't have before, and you're able to start building a life for yourself besides your day-to-day job.
Amazing, man. I'm definitely gonna have to talk to you because I got a bunch of LLCs that might be, 3 to 5 years, but
Oh
I
man.
didn't do enough with it. So now I know I
Now you
need to
know, and
get
that's
on the
what
right path.
that's why, like, to me, like the fun stuff happens when you are knowledgeable. So first you need to understand and gain the knowledge. First you have to educate yourself. Now if you don't have the education, you can't do those things, and that's what we provide at Marvel Solutions. Excuse me. At Marvel Solutions, we provide the education. We educate you. We give you the understanding, and we are very transparent. There's nothing to hide. At the end of the day, we have money back guarantee. We don't care about your money. We want to help you. We make our money on the funding side mainly. That's where because we're over there getting you access to the $100,000, $200,000. That's where we want to be. At. We want to make money when you're making money, right? You're getting
Yeah.
access to $200,000. That's amazing. That's when you have money to pay me. Otherwise, I'm not going to take your money that you might need to feed your kids or your family. The money that you spend on your credit is your personal investment in yourself. That money is basically, I'm asking you, put your money forward, put it back into yourself, because that's what it is. You're not giving me the money. You're putting the money forward. You're allowing us to take you to the next step, and that way you're able to come back and thank me for it, because at the end you invested in yourself.
Yeah. And it's just so cool that you can actually do this so fast and then also
Oh,
get mentoring with Marvel Solutions and everything else. So
yeah,
that's the next level.
mentoring is good. That's the mentorships that we're going to be having is going to be crazy. And I think, my team and everybody that's on my team, they just want to be around the group of people that we have, the community that we created, and now it's just an educational community. We're going to have a Discord soon, and that's going to make a huge impact in the nation and everybody else, and we're nationwide, so it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in New York, Chicago, Miami, we can fix your credit. So that's how powerful this can be. And my goal in life is to help people, and if I can help people even a slight bit, and especially this is a big help. I'm not, I'm not going out and giving out $1,000. I'm going around letting you know and teach you and educate the people and help them get to the next step. That way they don't have to do it on their own while they're at home with their kids and family. Then they shouldn't have to be worrying about how to fix their credit.
Yeah.
Like that stuff can happen. We take care of that in the back end, in the background. So then when you come home, that, oh, my credit is now fixed, and I didn't have to do anything myself. It's fixed, and I invested in myself, and now Marvel Solutions and Gino Nadarov have given me access to hundreds, if not $1,000s worth of money, which I didn't have before, and now I don't feel like I'm living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Because I have access. I have $100,000 credit card, or line of credit, and I have like 4 credit cards, 20,000 each, 30,000 each. Now I have $100,000 of access money. I'm not worried about feeding my kids. I'm not worried about feeding my family. And now I can play. Now I can take back. I can think. I can breathe. I don't have to rush everywhere just to make that dollar because I need to pay the mortgage tomorrow, or I need to pay the rent tomorrow, right?
Man, you just nailed it there. So, just like recap everything. Marvel Solutions and everything, like, will help you fix your credit first, get you trade lines, and then help you get amazing funding and consulting so that you know how to get real estate, how to get business, how to get cars, It's just super powerful. Everybody at Marvel Solutions is, super friendly and just kind of fun to work with as well. I just want to throw that in there. And then also, for everybody listening, like if you are, working 9 to 5 or struggling and you do want to fix your credit, they'll work with you on like payments and just getting the ball started. All it takes is that initial, like, you got to invest a little bit, and then we can start doing payments whenever you get paid, and just put a little bit aside, and they'll start going to bat for you, going against these different bureaus on your behalf and making it happen. You know what I mean?
Right. And then, yeah, those are the three bureaus. There's like, there's other, like, we call them mini bureaus that report information about you that you don't even know. Those bureaus are constantly, kind of like in the background, which the credit bureaus, the main credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian all come through, and they go and access that information from them. So, there's a lot of things that the average citizen doesn't know, and then those things that to educate yourself, it's like getting a whole nother degree in engineering, literally. Like that's how much how much time and effort I took to educate myself. It became my passion, because I realized, getting a degree to become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer was important, but it gave me a job. I wanted to be able to not get a job, not build a career. I wanted to be able to change my life.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like, changing my life means everything, right? It means stress, no headache. I mean, health, right? Your most important thing is health. If you're stressed out all the time, what's the point of living? You're just going to be stressed. Your life is going to be cut short. So this gives people access to money. That way they can sleep better at night.
Yeah, a little bit of breathing room.
It's the peace of mind. It's the American dream, and credit is the American dream. You just need to understand and learn how to access that money. And I'm here to help everybody that wants to help themselves. And Marvel Solutions is a company that I founded years before. I would help friends, family, word of mouth, anybody I know. And now I'm realizing that how many people in the nation, in the United States, specifically after the pandemic and all the debt that has happened, we're now at the point where we need it more than ever. Like, people need money. And no offense to anyone else, as much money as we get from whether you're unemployed or whatever, right? And be able to act, be able to live your life and pay your rent, we're not getting that much money every month from anyone. Nobody's going to give you money, So
there's no such thing.
It doesn't work that way. The government will take care of you as much as they can. As much as the law says, they'll take care of you. They'll give you an $800 unemployment check or whatever it is, but that's all you're going to get.
Yeah.
So then, let's say your rent is $800. How are you going to eat?
Right.
So unless you're working, if you're not working and and it's a pandemic and you can't find a job, you need to be able to eat. So what are you going to do, right? You need to access money and money that you can pay back later. Now, I'm not saying go into debt and not pay it back. I'm saying leverage it, use it for the time you need, or even better, if you can take it and invest that money, that leverage money to bring to 5x, 10x, 20x that money, and then now the money that you had originally is nothing. You just pay it off. You pay off your debt. So that's what I did. I would buy houses. I'll pay off my debt. And I'll just keep doing it. Kept buying houses, paying off debt, kept buying houses. So I accessed money I didn't have. And I was able to, $300,000, $400,000 as a 20-year-old, 21, 22, 23, 24-year-old. My first house I bought when I was 23,
Nice.
That is powerful. At 23, and I know that I can teach anybody that, you get a credit score at 18, I can get you access to money and you can buy a house that year.
Yeah.
That's how powerful it is.
And that's what people need, man.
Yeah.
I got a couple more questions before we wrap up, but where's the best place? Obviously below this, you guys will be able to book a call with Marvel Solutions and talk to one of his team members. But what are the places to find you online? Do you know, like, how can people get in contact with you?
I mean, I recently started getting on it at social media, and it started growing my following pretty quickly. Honestly, it's all because of my knowledge, my information my experience. Going through the day to day. But Instagram is where I'm mostly on.
What's your handle there?
My handle is my name, Gennady Nadarov. So
Cool.
you just, search either or Gino Nadarov, I come up as well. And my handle is there where I, post information all the time about credit. I try to educate people about, the finances and also how they can buy houses, buy cars, or businesses. Like if you want to get into a business, if I'm into like trucking business, I know a lot about. There's a lot of businesses that I can give advice to that you may not know that you can access money and use credit or even for example, like loans that you didn't know about because these banks are not readily explained. We have access to over 20,000 banks.
Yeah.
20,000 banks, and that's nationwide. So wherever you are, there's a bank that will give you money.
Nice.
Wherever you are, there's a credit
Good to
union,
know.
there's a bank, these banks, they want to give you money. They make money off debt. So why not take their money? But the thing is, if you don't have good credit, they can't trust you. They can't give you the money. So at the end of the day, you got to fix yourself first. Make yourself the most presentable, the most valued and credible person you can be. And honestly, be that credible. I always say, don't just act it, be it, right? Do it.
Yeah.
Don't just talk, walk, right?
Right.
There's a lot of people that talk, but I don't talk, I walk. And I run and I sprint. I'm flying. So it's like, boom. I don't, for me, it's like, if I'm not doing this, I'm not doing it, so at the end of the day, you got to start here. And if you're doing this, but it's, you won't get to where you are by the time you're 60. You need to make that, you need to do this by the time you're, 30, 40. If you're 20 and you're not there yet, you can do this. If you're 30, you're not there, you can do this. 40, you're not. It doesn't matter where you are in the time frame of life, you can change your life. And we don't discriminate. We help everybody that wants to help themselves and invest in themselves. And the community that we're building is going to be, I believe, is going to be huge and powerful for everybody in America.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well, anybody listening, check out marvelsolutionsllc.com. We'll definitely have like the link down below. Any last thoughts, Gino, before we kind of wrap up? I mean, I think we delivered a ton of value in this.
Man, I got so much information. I can talk all day, but I'm really happy we're doing this because I've been wanting to, share my insights more and really talk to the public about it and give more information. I don't have as much time to get on social media and do a video every 5 minutes or every hour of the day. Right. I have a wife and kids. I just had my newborn. Like I said, last week, my newborn was born. So it's just been, it's been, God, God's blessed me well. But it also takes, your own courage and determination and drive to really make a change in your life. And that starts with trusting someone that will help you. And if you don't trust or even risk trusting someone else, you'll never change. You have to take a risk. And sometimes, I've taken risks and it didn't turn out well. But at the end of the day, if I didn't take that risk, I would not know what I know now. So it's like you have to take those risks. And in this case, I'm telling you, there is no risk. We're here to take care of you because I don't need your money. I want to help you. I want to help people. The credit repair process is money that's going to be used to fix your credit. So if you're investing in credit, invest in yourself. Take the work off you yourself. Let us help you. Let us use the money to get your credit fixed.
And just a couple more questions. I think I'm not sure if they'll make it in the show, but if somebody wants to absolutely they're at like a 500 credit score shit and they want to get to that 700 club and start getting business funding, how fast do you think we could realistically help them?
Business funding. I mean, you can use
just fix your credit fast and then get to more funding, basically.
So yeah, basically, once you get to the credit, you get your credit fixed, you're able to get business funding within, I would say, 2 weeks.
Wow.
2 weeks. With 2 weeks, we can start getting your business funding. Within 2 weeks, we'll be able to finalize any accounts, if there's anything that's still not coming off or whatever, credit wise, but funding wise, it takes 1 week to get you funded. So we fund Monday, we clean inquiries Tuesday, we fund Wednesday, we clean inquiries Thursday, we fund Friday, and we're done. And
That's
usually,
awesome.
so we're apply for like, 5 to 10 banks per day.
That's awesome.
It's
And then for
fast.
like
Easy.
for the average Joe that wants to get their credit repaired, how fast can we realistically do that for them, you think?
Average Joe, I mean, it's if their credit is good, then like I said, within I would say 2 weeks to a month as a time frame to get funded.
Well, what about just fixing credit? I mean,
Wasting credit within 30, okay, average adjustment 30 to 45 days. If you have 1 to 3 accounts that are negative. If you have more accounts, you have bankruptcy liens and child support, things like that. It could take up to 3 months, 3 to 6 months because of bankruptcies. But other than that, within 6 months, you can change your life.
yeah. And you think that's like, even if your credit is complete, just trash, you
Yeah,
think 6 months is realistic?
100%. If your credit, I mean, I had a 480.
Yeah.
So 480 is not good, so
Yeah.
you can, and I went through the process, took me about, I would say 7 months, 8 months ish, because I had some I had no bankruptcy, but I was settling accounts as well. So if you're
Yeah.
settling an account, it's going to take a little longer, because if you don't have the money to pay them off right away. But if you do have the money to pay them off, we can help. We know partners, people that can get you settled, and
Yeah.
we have lawyers that can help you on the business side as well. So that way you can settle your debt and not have to pay 30,000. You can pay 15 to 20,000, and you can settle those accounts and get out of debt and then clean your credit faster.
Yeah.
The accounts that we can remove, that are not attached to active accounts, that are currently being used, that are written off and are not settled, we can remove automatically, and then no problem. Those that are unsettled, we have, those take a little longer, but again, it's all a matter of going through the process and taking the work off your hands and letting us fix your credit and help you change your life within 6 months is the goal for everybody. But I think average Joe Smo, if their credit is not that bad, they only have a few things, 3 months, 3 months, the worst case, 30 days, best case.
Sick. Well, this is awesome, man. I really appreciate you doing this, and everybody listening. I think you got like a ton of value. Again, if you want to book a call with Marvel Solutions, go to marvelsolutions.llc or llc.com. It'll be down below. And yeah, this is awesome, man. Any last thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I'm good. I mean, I appreciate everybody being on this call and listening in. Any questions, feel free to DM me or DM my team. Go ahead and book a call with us. Book a time that works for you. We're here to help you. So my team is on the phone every day, talking to people and changing lives. So if you want to change your life, give us a call.
Cool. Hope you guys got a lot of value. Talk to you in the next one.